Gavin and I went to Senegal to explore the story of Omar Ibn Said, a man who was captured there probably around 1807 and brought to Charleston and enslaved here.
I was immediately like, I wanted to be a part of this. It just sounded like an interesting story that I never heard about. Visually, it was also a challenge. How do you tell a story of someone who left very little information about themselves? And so I thought it was like a unique opportunity to really kind of approach this in a different way.
Omar's writing is historic for a number of reasons. First, he wrote the only known surviving autobiography that was written by someone still enslaved in Arabic. And given that upwards of 1 in 5 African captives was Muslim, the fact that that's the only one we have really speaks to so much faith and story that was lost. For us, the story began when Spoleto Festival USA commissioned an opera about Omar's life. It made us really wonder who he was and what his story was, and we wanted to explore what he was really trying to say in his writing.
Before he got here, he was 37, and he had lived so much of a life before he was captured in Senegal and taken over here. Now he had this new identity that he kind of had to live with and kind of like resist. And so, it's important to like raise that to readers who will see the stories about this man who was taken over here and how he had to find a way to survive.
It's one thing to try to understand Omar from the United States, but it's a whole other thing to understand Omar from where he grew up and where his family was and where his identity was really molded. It's just not something that normally at a local newspaper you're able to do.
He left very little information about his life in Senegal, and even here it was like hard to find information. So especially trying to go to Senegal and retrace it, we really had to work with researchers over there. We're not only going to Dakar, the capital, we're going 8 or 9 hours inland to a completely different part of the country. And so we really had to know what we were working on and really know what we were trying to do there.
Gavin and I spent a lot of time doing research that's not visible in the story, going through historical newspapers, going to museums, going through various archives here and also in Senegal. Historical work like that is really time-consuming, and you often don't find anything.
What's really cool about the Post and Courier is that they were committed to not only looking at this locally, but internationally, and going across state lines to North Carolina and overseas to Senegal to tell the story about Omar.
These kind of stories cannot be done quickly. They're not stories you can turn around in a day, sometimes even a week, sometimes months. We were able to go to Senegal because of a grant from the Pulitzer Center, which paid for us to go and travel around the country to explore Omar's story and also to explore how slavery is viewed in West Africa as opposed to how we study it and view it and grapple with it here in the US. So we're really thankful to donors who make it possible so that the Post and Courier is able to continue doing this kind of deep reporting.
And we thank our subscribers for their support of local journalism, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do these stories.
Omar's story is really special and unique and interesting, but more broadly, it's part of the historical record. His writing is so important, and his recollections of his life are critical to understanding that time period, and to be able to do that story justice was important to us. It's a wonderful team, and I think you'll see in the result that many people's creative energies went into it, and all for the benefit of Omar's story.